How reliable is inductive reasoning for making conclusions? Have you ever wondered how lawyers predict the outcomes of cases? One key method they use is inductive reasoning. So, how reliable is this approach for making conclusions? Inductive reasoning involves drawing general conclusions from specific observations. Unlike deductive reasoning, which guarantees a conclusion if the premises are true, inductive reasoning offers conclusions that are probable but not certain. This distinction is especially important in law school and during LSAT preparation. In legal practice, inductive reasoning often comes into play when analyzing case law. Lawyers and judges look at how similar cases were decided in the past. They then use those outcomes to predict how a new, similar case might be resolved. This method is sometimes referred to as reasoning by analogy. The reliability of inductive reasoning in this context hinges on the quality and quantity of the examples considered. The more consistent past decisions are, the stronger the inductive argument becomes. However, new cases can introduce unique facts, which means conclusions may need to be revised. When evaluating the strength of an inductive argument, it is important to understand that it exists on a spectrum from weak to strong. For instance, if most contracts with a particular clause have been enforced by courts, one might reasonably predict that a new contract with that same clause will also be enforced. However, this prediction is not guaranteed, as exceptions can arise. This uncertainty is a key feature of inductive reasoning in legal analysis. In the LSAT logical reasoning section, you will encounter questions that test your ability to evaluate the strength of inductive arguments. You may be asked to identify assumptions, spot weaknesses, or predict outcomes based on provided evidence. Recognizing that inductive conclusions are provisional and can change with new information is essential for strong performance on these questions. Practical applications in law school include briefing cases, where students extract rules from judicial opinions, and writing memos, where they predict how a court might rule based on existing law. These tasks requiring careful attention to the number and similarity of the precedents considered, as well as awareness of any conflicting decisions. Over-reliance on a small number of cases or ignoring distinctions between cases can weaken the reliability of the inductive conclusion. Understanding specialized terms like precedent, which refers to past decisions used as a guide, and analogical reasoning, which involves comparing cases to find similarities, is central to grasping inductive reasoning in law. These concepts help students assess how much weight to give to past decisions when making legal arguments. From the perspective of law school, inductive reasoning is a necessary tool, but its reliability is always conditional. It allows lawyers to make informed predictions and build arguments, but those predictions must be tested against new facts and legal developments. The best legal thinkers use inductive reasoning thoughtfully, aware of its limits, and ready to adjust their conclusions as the law evolves. Inductive reasoning is reliable for making probable conclusions in law, especially when based on a solid foundation of consistent precedents. However, it does not provide certainty, and its conclusions should always be treated as open to further evidence and argument. This balanced view is essential for success in law school, on the LSAT, and in legal practice.